Aloha and welcome to Java. Thank you kindly for joining me. This is for Monday, January 29th, 2024. Before I get into this, I would like to bring up something that's very important. I did misspeak yesterday. My apologies for that. It wasn't what I intended. I would like to thank Free Speech for All, Brings Dogs to Work, as well as PM Galleria for commenting on this and bringing this out that I did say this. So thank you kindly. I don't script these. I just kind of get on, and once in a while I'll make a mistake. So regarding treasuries, these are basically loans to cover the spending. They're basically IOUs, especially if you're new here. I want to kind of put this out there. So as the risk of getting paid back for these loans goes up, they increase the yield, or that's also the interest that they pay on it. This creates a flow of money out of stocks as people see they can make more money from the treasury yields into these treasuries. So generally, when this yield of the treasuries go up, stocks go down. Conversely, if stocks seem to be a better investment because yields are low, then the flow of money will reverse and go into stocks. So another aspect is if Yellen floods the bond market because we have so many loans to cover, so there's a tremendous supply, they will lose value if there's no buyers. The price will go down, so then they have to bring that yield or the interest rate, increase that, so that buyers will come back again and purchase. So a fear trade is people afraid of losing their money in stock market. So they take that money, they put it into the bonds to get the yield, or they hold dollars, which is the relative strength of the Dixie, and they also usually hold gold. So with that, we'll go into what we've got with the markets right now. Our MMRI is at about 264, which is high risk area, but it's still been a bit stable. So we've got pretty much a quiet Monday ahead of us. We've got stocks a bit mixed at the moment. We've got Asian markets that did pretty well in the overnights. Oil is up over what's going on in the Middle East, mostly the war. There were a few other things that happened. And the futures are also looking kind of in agreement with a grain stock market. So right now, as I was saying yesterday, the bulls are in control to start. We've got a full week ahead, although today there's not very much on the calendar. So basically, investor sentiment did decrease slightly after the PCE inflation data. And there was we've had record highs in the stock market for some time now. So a bit of a pullback would be healthy for the market and actually be very welcomed. So it would kind of set a little more before it goes higher. So they are saying that we have achieved the soft landing that the Federal Reserve is talking about. And they kind of have to call that. So they did decrease inflation. Whether it was due to the Federal Reserve or not, inflation is coming back down. And their other mandate is jobs. So that number is fully manipulated. They did correct these numbers afterwards, but nobody looks at these afterwards. It's only when they report them. So there are two stories that are basically coming out. So they're talking about stocks being strong, yields are dropping, as we were talking about, and that there's still a lot of excitement to come. We'll talk about that as it's in. So I had one short story come forward. If you are looking at Toyota, either long-term for a buying opportunity, or if you're a day trader, should expect some volatility as they halted their shipments on some models having engine testing issues. So that would be an idea, not financial advice, but just want to bring that out to your attention. So big news market-wise is China's Evergrande. Now they are the largest property developer over there, and they are court ordered to do their liquidation. So they've assigned this liquidation to someone. However, they understand the implications of what could go on with this. So I expect that they would kind of trickle out these sales and not put up large blocks at a time and dump the real estate market. However, anything is possible. So there's big talk about the bubble bursting, but I think they'll have this handled just the same way that they have been doing, because this is something that they know and understand they have to manage it slowly before they drop these assets. Also, large holders, so companies like BlackRock do hold large pension funds as well. So it will affect all of those. Talk a little bit more about that in a bit. SoFi is a company, if you have not heard of them, they're into short-term loans. So they have their earnings this morning that just came out, and they're talking about how their earnings have jumped. So skyrocketing earnings. This is because of surging loan volumes. So the story behind this is, again, the real economy. People are getting loans in order to pay their bills now. They can't keep up with the spending. But if you listen to mainstream media, our economy is very strong because the spending is tremendous, but it's all on debt. So we've also got Capital One saying the credit deterioration has run its course. And they're talking about that because the number of credit defaults that they are seeing has slowed. Hasn't stopped, but it's slowed from the pace that it was. So they're all talking about recovery from this. Maybe they're correct and this is possible. That would be wonderful if that's true, but I still think there's quite a bit more to go. So I was speaking about this, I believe it was last week and the week prior. We're talking about the risk to global finance from private equities going into insurance. So insurance companies are this huge, got this huge bubble going on basically, and I see that starting to burst. And now they're talking about it. Finally, this is from The Economist, talking about funding with pensions, private assets. These are large companies that have taken huge risk, and now all of these losses will start to write off. So it depends on how they handle it with the timing, but it could be uh, very detrimental. So finally got somebody that's looking at this insurance issue as well. So I don't generally cover a lot of things they do in the mainstream media because I think you get bombed with it between Texit and what's going on down on the border. I do cover the immigration a bit, but then also with the war in the Middle East. So now we've got another one with Biden saying Iran backed militants killed some troops, US troops, in a drone attack. He's insisting it's Iran. Iran immediately made a statement declining that it was not them. And I believe it was Islamic Republic said they didn't do it. Basically, Iran saying no. A terrorist group did step up and claim responsibility for it. But what we're seeing here basically is really trying to drag Iran into a war, and they are trying to stay out of it. So just want to bring that up because we're going to see more of this, and it's very slanted with what you see in the Western media and especially in the United States. So please be careful of what you hear. Got one lava update today. It's very quiet, quick today. But Blackstone, so Blackstone building $25 billion facility for a data center. So just as a thought, exactly why this company that is an investment company would be building a data center. And we've been talking about this before. So they are getting into cryptocurrency miners. They have put out a Bitcoin ETF and they're basically kind of gathering a lot of assets. One of the largest assets out there is data, including personal data. So want to keep an eye on this and be aware of what they're doing. So with that, if you haven't liked yet and you would, please like and share this video. I appreciate you all being here, and until I see you again, my friends, stay free.